Hello everyone. In this presentation, we are going to talk about the play Stolen, written by Jane Harrison. This powerful drama focuses on the painful history of the stolen generations in Australia. Through the lives of 5 Aboriginal children who were forcibly separated from their families, the play shows the emotional trauma, loss of identity, and cultural disconnection they experienced. In this presentation, we will discuss the background, themes, characters, and the purpose of the play. So, let's get started. About the author, Jane Harrison is an Aboriginal Australian playwright and novelist. She belongs to the Murrawari people of New South Wales, Australia. She is best known for her powerful play Stolen, 1998, which deals with the experiences of the stolen generations. Her writing focuses on Indigenous identity, displacement, trauma, survival, and social justice. Some of her notable works include Rainbow's End, Becoming Kirrily Lewis, and The Visitors. Harrison is also the founder of the Black and Bright First Nations Literary Festival, which promotes Indigenous writers and storytelling. Her works are widely studied for their historical significance and emotional depth in Australian literature. Stolen Generation. The Stolen Generations refers to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children who were forcibly removed from their families by the Australian government. This practice took place mainly between the late 19th century and the 1970s. Children were placed in institutions, missions, or white foster families to assimilate them into European culture. The policy aimed to erase Indigenous culture, language, and identity. Many children suffered emotional trauma, abuse, loss of identity, and separation from their heritage. The effects of these removals continue today, impacting families, communities, and generations. In 2008, the Australian government formally apologised to the stolen generations for the injustice caused. Purpose of the play: to highlight the suffering of the stolen generations caused by forced removal policies. To give voice to Indigenous children whose stories were ignored or silenced. To expose the emotional, psychological, and cultural trauma experienced by Aboriginal families. To challenge the idea that the removals were done for the children's good. To raise awareness and empathy among audiences about Indigenous history. To encourage truth, remembrance, and social justice through theatre.
Stolen plot overview. Stolen by Jane Harrison is an Australian Aboriginal play that portrays the experiences of the stolen generations. The play focuses on 5 Aboriginal children, Ruby, Sandy, Anne, Shirley, and Jimmy, who are forcibly removed from their families by government authorities. They are placed in institutions where they grow up under strict rules, emotional neglect, and loss of cultural identity. Each character reacts differently to separation, but all of them suffer from loneliness and confusion. As the play moves between childhood and adulthood, it shows how their early experiences continue to affect their lives. The characters struggle with identity, relationships, and belonging, revealing the long-term psychological impact of forced removal. Overall, Stolen highlights the pain, trauma, and injustice faced by Aboriginal people due to colonization and government policies. Major themes. Part 1. One of the most important themes in Stolen is the stolen generations, which refers to the forced removal of Aboriginal children from their families. This separation causes a deep loss of family bonds and sense of belonging. The characters are cut off from their culture, language, and traditions, leading to cultural disconnection. Since they grow up without knowledge of their roots, they face a serious identity crisis. The play shows how the absence of family and culture leaves a lasting emotional emptiness in their lives. Major themes. Part 2. Another major theme is trauma and memory. Painful childhood experiences continue to haunt the characters even in adulthood. The play also highlights the effects of colonization, showing how Aboriginal lives are controlled by government institutions. Racism and institutional authority are clearly portrayed through strict rules and lack of compassion. Finally, Stolen emphasizes the long-term psychological impact of forced removal, proving that trauma does not end with childhood but affects the entire life of the individual. Dramatic features. Episodic and non-linear structure. The play does not follow a straight timeline. It moves between past and present, showing memories of childhood and moments of separation. Minimal stage setting, very few props and simple staging are used. This helps the audience focus on emotions and stories rather than on physical settings. Use of memory and flashbacks. Memories and flashbacks show how the trauma of being taken away continues to affect the characters even as adults. Emotional realism. The emotions shown are natural and realistic. Pain, fear, anger, and loss are presented in a truthful and moving way. Direct address to the audience. The characters often speak directly to the audience. This breaks the distance between the stage and viewers, making the audience feel emotionally involved and responsible. Characters. Sandy. Sandy is taken away as a child and separated from his siblings. He struggles with loneliness and silence. His story reflects long-lasting trauma and emotional isolation. I represent strength and survival. I care for others like a mother, even after my own family was taken from me.
Anne. Anne is removed as a baby and raised by a white family. She grows up confused about her Aboriginal identity. Her character shows the pain of cultural disconnection. I represent children raised to obey the system. I believed I was better off, but I lost my real family. Ruby. Ruby represents children who grew up in institutions. She speaks about loss of family, strict control, and emotional emptiness. Her character shows how stolen children were denied love and identity. I represent strength and survival. I care for others like a mother, even after my own family was taken from me.
Jimmy. Jimmy grows up in an institution and later faces prison life. He represents how stolen children were pushed into crime and punishment. His story shows the cycle of injustice faced by Indigenous people. I represent abandonment and emotional isolation. I grew up without love, guidance, or belonging.
Shirley. Shirley is a strong woman who tries to protect her children. She represents Aboriginal mothers who resisted child removal. Her voice shows anger, strength, and survival. I represent anger and resistance. I question the system that stole my childhood and my family.
Significance and conclusion. Stolen is significant because it highlights the injustice faced by Aboriginal Australians under colonial and governmental systems. The play acts as a form of historical testimony, giving voice to stories that were ignored or silenced in official history. Through theatre, Jane Harrison raises public awareness about the long-term effects of the stolen generations, encouraging empathy and reflection. In conclusion, Stolen is an important work in Australian Aboriginal drama because it transforms theatre into a space for remembrance, resistance, and truth-telling.
Thank you. Stolen reminds us that history is not only written in records, but carried in human lives.
I'm the author of the Louis trilogy. It's 3 plays, Some of the Aliens, Cosy, This Much Is True, and Declan Green is directing it, and he will have a company of actors, 8 actors, which is extraordinary for Griffin, and I'm really honoured that it's going to be such a major production. It didn't start out as a trilogy, it started out as just a one-off. Some of the Aliens came about because I wanted to revisit my past, growing up on a housing commission estate, and I wanted to avoid the stereotypes of the mother in the dirty cardigan, the wastrel dad, the violence, the drunkenness, and I wanted to give it a magical quality. Cosy is about an older Louis. He's about 19, he's adrift in life, and he finds himself directing mental patients in an asylum, and they want to do Cozy Fan Tute.
Introduction to Radiance. Radiance is a one-act play by Louis Nowra that focuses on the reunion of 3 Aboriginal sisters, May, Nona, and Candy, at their mother's funeral. Through this family gathering, the play explores the sisters' complicated relationships, buried secrets, and unresolved conflicts. It examines themes of grief, reconciliation, and the struggle to understand one's cultural and personal identity. Set in contemporary Australia, the play uses minimal stage design and relies heavily on dialogue to reveal the characters' emotions, histories, and inner conflicts. Radiance not only portrays the challenges within a fragmented family, but also highlights the broader social issues faced by Aboriginal communities, making it a significant work in Australian theatre. The play has been praised for its emotional intensity, authentic portrayal of relationships, and insightful commentary on family and identity.
From the hills, I close my eyes and I'm standing in a boat on the sea again. I'm holding that long turtle spear, and
Family relationships. The play focuses on the strained relationship between the three sisters. Their reunion after their mother's death exposes unresolved conflicts, misunderstandings, and emotional distance, showing how family bonds can be both painful and endearing. Identity and belonging. Each sister struggles with who she is and where she belongs. Their Aboriginal identity influences their experiences. But the play treats identity as personal and emotional, not political. Memories shape the sisters' present lives. Different versions of childhood and their mother reveal how memory is subjective, and how the past continues to affect the present. Each sister has lived with half-truths and assumptions about their mother and each other. As secrets are revealed, illusions break down, leading to understanding and growth. Despite anger and resentment, the play moves toward emotional healing. By confronting the truth, the sisters begin to forgive and reconnect.